Welcome, learner, to our human resource management subject. Today we are continuing with our reward management topic, and we are looking at pay structures and wage systems. And we are looking at the section for wage systems. And wages, as it is understood in human resource management, are payments for service of labor, whether physical or mental. A wage means all types of earnings which can be provided in monetary terms for services that have been rendered by a given employee within a given period of time. So when it comes to wage systems are the administrative arrangements of ensuring that employees receive those wages. So the first thing we want to look at objectives of wage systems. Second thing we want to look at are objectives of wage systems. Objectives of wage systems. So what are some of the objectives that may be associated with a wage system, or when an organization wants to put in place a wage system, what are some of the objectives they would want to look at? So the first objective is to provide a mechanism for administration of wages. The second one, to provide a basis for a trade union management engagement. The third one, to assist in achieving consistency in wage administration. Then the fourth one, to ensure equity in wage administration. And then number five, to assist an organization to gain control of wage management. And number six, assist an organization comply with the law. So, Lana, these ones are some of the objectives of wage systems. And when you talk about wage systems, then you are saying the objectives would be to provide a mechanism for administration of wages, provide a basis for trade union management engagement, to assist in achieving consistency in wage administration, to ensure equity in wage administration, to assist an organization to gain control of wage management, and to assist an organization comply with the law or legislation that may be governing the payment of wages within organizations. So what are some of the methods of wage systems? Methods of wage systems, methods of wage systems. So usually there are two main methods of wage systems that organizations may use, and you have what you call the time one, time wage systems, and then you also have what you call number two, piece wage systems. Piece wage systems. So sometimes this is also referred to as a piece rate wage system. So we can have a look at the time wage systems. Time wage systems. Time wage systems. So time wage systems, the way the word suggests, this is where an employee is compensated based on the duration of time that employee has spent in the workplace. So these time wage systems, this is a system where an employee is compensated based on the duration of time the employee has spent in the workplace. So basically, learner, this could be maybe a day, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. So basically it's an element of time. So in most of the organizations where they use the time systems, so they have a timing mechanism. So an employee could also be paid on the basis of a month. So the employee's maybe wage in a month is 30,000. So that is what the employee is paid. So if the employee doesn't attend for the 30 days, for example, attends for 25 days, then that employee is paid 25,000. So basically, roughly, the pay per day is 1,000 shillings. So what are some of the advantages of time wage systems? Advantages of time wage systems. Advantages of time wage systems. So what are some of the advantages that may be associated with time wage systems? So one, easy to monitor. So it is very easy to monitor. The way we have just said, if an employee is supposed to work for 10 hours in a day or 8 hours in a day, if the employee is not able to clock in the number of hours, it's very easy to monitor in terms of the issue of time. Then two allows employees to concentrate on tasks. So what you are saying here, dear learner, if you have a time wage system and an employee has the whole day to work on something, they can be able to concentrate at the task at hand and be able to provide, number three, what is called a quality output can be realized. And then four, less wear and tear of machines, because if a machine has an issue, the employee can give it time for the machine to be repaired and so on. So there is less in terms of depreciation. So less wear and tear of machines can also be be realized. Then number 5, equity can be attained in the workplace. On pay. So you have arrived in the work environment, you are there for 5 hours, another employee is there for 5 hours, you are paid the same. So it is easy to achieve equity in the workplace in terms of pay if time is being used. Now, what are some of the disadvantages of time wage systems? Disadvantages of time wage systems. Disadvantages of time wage systems. So if you look at it critically, employees are actually being paid for being present. So you can see, number 1, employees are rewarded for presence in the workplace. So an employee could be present in the workplace, but that employee is not doing anything. But because you are computing time, then it is very possible that employee could be paid for just being present in the workplace, and that becomes one of the disadvantages. Then 2, may discourage the competitive spirit among workers. So if an employee realizes that they are working, but whether they work smart, whether they put in more effort, the earning is going to be the same. So that again becomes a disadvantage of time wage systems. And then number 3, requires much supervision. Because an employee could arrive in the work environment and does not start working, and they move around and so on. So those malingering kind of employees may not be able to give an organization any productivity. So it requires much supervision. Then 4, much documentation is needed. E.g. attendance records. So a lot of documentation will be required to document the clocking in time, to document the number of days work, to document absenteeism and so on. So that again becomes another disadvantage of this particular system. And then number 5, may create conflicts in computation of wages. So workers keep on indicating they were in the workplace up to this particular time. How did you arrive at this kind of deductions and so on? So if a worker is not there for a day or 2 and deductions are made, that creates a lot of problems. Then much labor effort is needed. To maintain the system. So these are some of the disadvantages of time wage systems that may be used, and in most cases this kind of a system is used in organization where employees maybe are participating in productive activities. Now, how about piece wage systems? Piece wage systems. Now, when it comes to piece wage systems, dear learner, the way the word suggests, in a piece wage systems, employees are paid based on their output. This in piece wage systems, employees are compensated based on the pieces they produce at a given period of time, on an agreed rate of payment per piece. So take an example. If an employee produces 10 items, an employee could produce 10 items, and each item is 1,000 shillings payment. So the payment for this will be 10,000. So regardless of how long or how short a time the worker takes, the worker is paid based on what they have produced on an agreed rate. So the issue of time does not arise. If a worker is able to do this production in 1 hour, the worker is paid. If a worker is able to do this in terms of 2 days, the issue of days does not count. The issue of the rate is what is important. So in piece wage systems, employees are compensated based on the pieces they produce at a given period of time on an agreed rate of payment per piece, and that is the piece rate system. So the question then comes, what are some of the advantages of piece wage systems? What advantages could be associated with piece wage systems? So one, this system encourages creativity among employees. And dear learner, the reason for that is the more you produce, the more you earn. So workers will want to be creative in terms of producing the output. Then number two, less supervision is required. Less supervision is required because what is now supervising employees is their output, because basically that is their interest in terms of earning. Then number three, optimum use of resources. So workers will ensure that they make optimum use of the resources available to ensure production takes place so that they can also benefit. Then number four, discourages waste of time amongst employees. So workers will want to be able to do whatever they are supposed to do within the available time. So they will concentrate on the work they are expected to do. So there is less time wastage among employees. Then number four, employees do not require negotiations for pay. So the issue here is you are supposed to be able to produce an item and you are paid. So basically that becomes now your benchmark. So employees do not need to require to negotiate for payments in relation to what they need to get. You basically give your input, you earn your return, and you get your money and so on. Is it? And then number six reduces conflicts in computation of wages. So you are able to see, for example, 10 pieces, 1,000 per piece, 10,000. So it reduces conflicts that may be associated with issues of computation of wages. Now, these are advantages of piece wages. There could also be some disadvantages. Disadvantages of a piece wage system. Disadvantages of a piece wage system. So what are some of the disadvantages that may be associated with the piece wage system? So number one, system is resisted by trade unions. Is resisted by trade unions because members will now rebel, and they don't want to become members of trade unions because instead of paying money to trade unions as union dues, they will want now to be able to compute themselves and keep everything. So the unions may not be very comfortable with this kind of a system. Then secondly, the piece rate may not be determined scientifically. And then number three, may lead to high levels of depreciation. May lead to high levels of depreciation. 4, may not guarantee employees consistent income. And then number 5, may create enmity amongst employees. So if an employee who works very well and very, very smart is able to earn much more, then that employee will have a problem with other colleagues because other colleagues will be feeling that this particular person is working so hard, is getting too much money. So that may also create a problem. And then employees who worked very well today, tomorrow they could be unwell, for example, and they are not able to work. So they may not be able to be guaranteed a steady income. So these one, dear learner, are some of the disadvantages of piece wage systems. And as you can see, time wages and piece wages, both of them have got advantages and disadvantages. So an organization may decide which particular system may suit their requirements and be able to use that particular system. So dear learner, in our lesson today, we have looked at pay structures and wage systems, and we have looked at wage systems and indicated that wages are payments for service of labor, whether physical or mental. A wage means all types of earnings which can be provided in monetary terms for services rendered. And we have mentioned the objectives of wage systems and indicated that number 1, wage systems provide mechanisms for administration of wages. Number 2, wage systems provide a basis for trade union management engagement. Then number 3, wage systems assist in achieving consistency in wage administration. Then number 4, wage systems help to ensure equity in wage administration. Wage systems assist an organization to gain control of wage management. That's number 5. And number 6, another objective of wage systems, wage systems assist an organization to comply with the law, where the law provides some certain benchmarks. Then we have gone ahead and looked at methods of wage systems, and we have indicated that there are basically two wage systems. So you have the time wage systems. You also have the piece wage systems. So we went ahead and looked at the time wage systems, and we said, dear learner, that a time wage system is a system where an employee is compensated based on the duration of time the employee has spent in the workplace. So whether that employee has been working or not is a different matter. Then we have looked at the advantages of time wage systems, and we have indicated that, one, they are easy to monitor. Then number two, allows employees to concentrate on tasks. Then number three, quality output can be realized. Then number four, less wear and tear of machines. Then number five, equity can be attained in the workplace on pay issues. And then we have gone ahead and looked at some of the disadvantages of time wage systems, and we have said that, one, employees are rewarded for presence in the workplace. So you rush to the workplace, you are present in the workplace, you are paid. So the idea is just to arrive. Then number two, may discourage the competitive spirit among workers. Number three, requires much supervision. Number four, another disadvantage of time wage systems, much documentation is needed, for example, attendance records. Then number five, may create conflicts in computation of wages. And number six, much labor effort is needed to maintain the system. So those ones are some of the disadvantages of time wage systems. Then, dear learner, we have also looked at piece wage systems, and we have taken note and said that in piece wage systems, employees are compensated based on the pieces they produce at a given period of time on an agreed rate of payment per piece. And we gave an example: an employee can produce 10 pieces at 1,000 shillings per piece. The wage there will be 10,000. So advantages of piece wage systems, dear learner: number one, encourages creativity among the workers. Number two, less supervision is required. Number three, optimum use of resources. Number four, discourages waste of time amongst employees. Number five, employees do not require negotiations for pay. Number six, reduces conflicts in computation of wages. Then we went ahead and looked at disadvantages that may be associated with a piece wage system, and we said that, one, the system is resisted by trade unions. Then two, the piece rate may not be determined scientifically. Number three, may lead to high levels of depreciation. And number four, may not guarantee employees consistent income. Number five, may create enmity amongst employees. So, dear learner, this is our topic on the portion of wage systems in the pay structures and wage system. And before we finalize our lesson, you have an assignment that you need to work on. Assignment for today's lesson: discuss the benefits that may be enjoyed by an organization that uses the piece rate system of payment. So dear learner, that's your assignment. Discuss the benefits that may be enjoyed by an organization that uses the piece rate system of payment. And then at that point, dear learner, we come to the end of our lesson today, which was wage systems under the reward management topic, lesson of human resource management under the manifested learning platform. Thank you.